I'm Simon Banks. I run Tab Wakefield, facilitator and coach in Tab Wakefield in West Yorkshire. I was a member of Tab for the best part of 6 years before I became a facilitator. And I run a business that makes timber components called Samson Products Limited. I'm MD of that business. Part of my personal vision when I first joined Tab as a member was to be in a position where I wasn't neck deep in the day to day running the business. I live 60 miles away from where the business is located, so the days were long. It was hard work. I was all over everything, and I wanted to be a step away from that. And Tab was a huge influence in me being able to do that. So after 5 or 6 years as a member, I'd been able to um, I've been able to delegate most of my day-to-day tasks to a management team that I'd installed in the business, and they now run that business day to day. That freed me up to do something else. I wasn't looking for a heavy investment opportunity. I was looking for something that I would enjoy doing, but would bring in a little bit of revenue for me as well to supplement what I was already earning. So I think from that point of view, when Dougie Brown, my coach at that point in TAP, said, do you fancy coming along and joining me as a facilitator? My ears pricked up. And I thought, well, I enjoy it so much. Why wouldn't I want to sit at the other side of the table and help people have the same experience that I've had from TAB and achieve what I've achieved? So that was really the catalyst and the reason why the idea was put in my head. I thought about it for not very long and said, yes, I'd really like to do that. And I've not looked back. I think I need to be occupied. I need to have a purpose and a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And that needs to be a challenge, because if it's not challenging, it's not interesting for me. And my whole life is about doing stuff that I find interesting. So, so the experience I had as a TAB member, I loved that experience. It was fantastic. So I got a real sense of the worth of it from a point of view of what the members get from it, but also what you can get from it being a facilitator. So I think for me, that's what it brings. It's just a sense of purpose. Yeah, I think for me, the major concern for me setting out with TAB was the coaching element of it, because I think from a point of view of imposter syndrome, I've run businesses. I've sold. I can sell. So all the things I need to do to build the Tab business up are all there. But the actual element of doing the work of Tab, delivering Tab to clients or to members, was the bit that I was very apprehensive about. Would I be able to coach people? Have I got the right skill set for it? But I would say that quickly diminished as I got into it. I did have a few members at the very beginning that I worked with, who I saw as cutting my teeth with, as learning my trade, and that worked really, really well. That took a lot of that imposter syndrome away from me, which then enabled me to work with owners of bigger businesses. I felt feeling more comfortable doing that. There are two elements really. So I think from a point of view of training, they don't let you loose until you've been properly trained. And that training program that you go through when you first start with TAB is quite challenging, and it needs to be quite challenging because the role is quite challenging. But it does set you up well for the first 3 or 4 months working for TAB. But also, I think the broader TAB community. So you've got 40 odd other people who've been in your position, who are at different stages in their journey to lean on and talk to, and everyone's very, very supportive. So there's always somewhere to go if you've got an issue or challenge that you can't get past. I think what attracted me to Tab was that you're running your own business. You have a degree of flexibility. It's not rigid. It's not like being a POIE employee. You can run the business from a point of view of how big or small you want it to be. That's entirely up to you. And everyone in Tab that I've met, everyone that I know, are doing things slightly differently. And I think you learn an awful lot from the other facilitators' experiences, how they run the boards, how they work with the members, how they find new members. Everyone has a little bit of a different take on it. Um, and I think that comes about maybe after the first 5 to 6 months when you start to find your feet and what works best for you. So I think that we're not all working to a script, that there's a degree of flexibility in how we work and how we build our businesses, means that we're all doing things slightly differently. And it means that we've all got different experiences and different things to share, um, particularly about what works and what doesn't work, in developing your business, finding members and working with members, making them stick. I think that happens all the time. Yeah, the whole point of doing what we do is to make a difference, and so it happens all the time. Every board meeting, every one-to-one, there's something that comes out of it that's of real value to the individuals that are either getting the one-to-one support or at the board meeting. But I think particularly, it's just the feedback you get generally that it's helped them personally rather than just the business. Um, I'll give you an example. So I was at an awards ceremony at the back end of last year, and there were a few tab members in the room, that people that I was either worked with or was working with. One of my tab members won an award, and when they went up to collect it, when they came back down again, they said, "You should have been on the stage with us. You were a big part of that." So that was great feedback. And another member I'd worked with for a short period, maybe about 6 months, fairly early on in my tab journey, came up to me and said, "So what we'd done and what we'd worked on was quite life changing for her." And she said, "I can't thank you enough for how much you helped me." So when you get feedback like that, and it isn't about us, it's about it's about the members and about their achievements. But it is really great to hear to hear feedback like that from members. I think going into this, you've got to accept it's a business. So businesses are a roller coaster. It's not a straight line. There are ups and downs. And in the same way that we support our members with those challenges, we're going through them ourselves as well. So there are times when things are all working really well, the boards are full, the members are engaged. Then you'll go through a period where members are leaving. You'll go through a period where you're struggling to find new members. Um, there are challenges. It's not a simple. It's a simple business, but it's not a simple proposition. If that makes sense. Um, you just have to plow through them. I'm quite resilient anyway, so there are knocks. But for me, the benefits of what we do and the enjoyment I get from it completely outweigh the downsides. And it's no different to running any other business. There are good times, there are times that are a bit more challenging. There are two aspects again. One is just meeting people. Um, I enjoy being with people. So that's the first one. The second one is there's never 2 days the same. So every one-to-one, every board meeting, there's new things coming up, new topics. People's lives are going in different directions. There are never 2 days the same. And I think from a point of view of member recruitment as well, the sales element of it, that's just an opportunity to meet lots of people. You go to the businesses, you see the premises, you get to know them. So whether they join or not, you're building a huge network of people, and that's quite rewarding actually. Being in a business community and lots of people know who you are. So I think we've mentioned it already. Resilience is really important. Um, you've got to be able to work hard at the beginning. It is quite hard work when you first start. Um, you've got to accept that not every person that you meet is going to become a tab member, and not every tab member is going to work. And so I think if you go into the business with the upfront knowledge that not everything's going to work and it's not going to be plain sailing, and you accept that from the beginning, the anxiety around the times when things aren't working is has less of a mental impact on you, I think. But for me, if you enjoy working with people, if you get a lot of pleasure out of seeing other people succeed, If you're not an egotist, um, and if you've got a genuine belief that you've got the capacity or the ability to make people's businesses better and help them make them better, and I think it's recognizing that you're only helping, you're not doing it for them, you're just helping and guiding them. So I think it's a combination of all those things. I would also say if you focus purely on the revenue, then it won't work. You've got to be focused on delivering what you do and enjoying what you do. And if you enjoy it and you get a lot of fulfillment from it, the money will come.